And welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we're watching and reacting to Inter Miami CF versus Pumas UNAM Leagues Cup 2025 League Phase Match 3. Miami has to win if they want to advance to the next round. Orlando is second place with a draw, as we actually know they're winning. Orlando's winning as we speak. Okay, that definitely could hurt LAFC, but Miami needs to at least win, at least draw and win the shootout if they want to advance. Winning outright would be much better for them. Put them above Columbus, Orlando, LAFC, and Seattle and Portland would both have to win to join them tonight. So that'll be interesting. But Inter Miami CF contra Pumas UNAM, La Leagues Cup, Fase de Grupos, Partido 3. We are back. We have Miami playing. No Messi. He's hurt. Falcon will play. They rescinded the red card. He will play. That's positive. It's very positive comparatively. The only game we're live for tonight is this. The only game we review tonight, well, is this. It's this game. Pumas, no Para in goal. They didn't want to, obviously, they didn't want to stick. They didn't want to commit the football version of sucks starting a shotgun. They put Paul in goal, which probably will not be anywhere much better. Miguel Paul probably will not be better at all, but at least it's not the football equivalent of suck starting a shotgun. It's probably more the football equivalent of taking a cyanide pill. It's probably suicide anyway, but at least it's less messy. No pun intended. No pun intended. How we doing, Henry? How we doing? How we doing, Isaiah? Yeah, 6:30. Either way. Okay, starting 11s are as follows. For Inter Miami, we have Rocco Rios Novo, the back four of Jordi Alba, Gonzalo Lujan, Maxi Falcon, Marcelo Weingart. The midfield four of Talasco Segovia, Sergio Busquets, Rodrigo De Paul, Yannick Bright, which that's actually a pretty good midfield. Front two, Luis Suarez and Tadeo Allende. Pumas, Miguel Paul instead of Para, as we said. The back four of Pablo Benevendo. We have Nathan Silva. We have Ruben Duarte. We have Alvaro Angulo. The midfield two, defensive midfield two of Alberto Carrasquilla. We have Jose Caicedo. The attacking midfield three of Rodrigo Lopez, Pedro Vite, Jorge Rubalcaba, and up top, Memote Martinez. That's what we have. Good to know Falcon is playing. We don't have to see Aviles play with our Leagues Cup on the line. Exactly. Yeah. That Keylor Navas, this would be a Pumas win, but without him, it's meh. At least it's not Para. But, as I said, playing Para is like going full private pal. It's going to be ugly. Playing Paul is still suicide, probably, but it's a cyanide pill. It's less messy. Well, could you really call it that, though, considering... Could you really call it that, though, considering if Navas just didn't get a red card, they'd be fine, especially without Messi. So could you say it was, I don't know, either way. I don't know, either way. If only Freire didn't tear his ACL last year. Yeah, let's remember he was a former Pumas player, and if he stayed, well, there's something called he might just help his former team. Besides, he wasn't really, let's be honest, I was never really sold on him to begin with, besides that CCL run. So from Pumas. Other than that, here we go. The second to last day of the group stage. Tomorrow we have the final day of the group stage. And very likely, at least one of the leagues might be set. Marcel Ruiz to Palmeiras. Yeah, I think we've talked about that ad nauseum, right? So if Pumas wins, are you having a stroke? I mean, in theory, if they win, they would be in the top 4 with 8 points. They'd be with Toluca. So yeah, they'd be in the top 4 if they won, yes, outright. They would still be in the top 4 if they won the shootout. Miami would be out if they lose, whether that be a shootout or outright. Pumas wins, they're probably through either way, whether that's a shootout or outright. If Miami wins outright or through a shootout, they're probably through. So somebody has to win somehow because of the way the rules work. Whoever wins this game advances, most likely. You'd prefer the outright win, but Rios Novo in goal, Jordi Alba, Falcon, Lujan, Weingart, Busquets, Bright, Segovia, DePaul, Allende, Suarez for Miami. Fair enough. Noah Allen's on the bench. Starting 11, Paul for Pumas. Angulo, Duarte, Silva, Benevendo, Caicedo, Carrasquilla, Ruvalcaba, Vite, Lopez, and Memote up top. No Messi, will it be a problem? Orlando leads their match 1-0, by the way, 22 minutes in. Player to watch, DePaul for Miami, which he played damn well on Sunday, or Saturday, I should say. He played damn well on Saturday. Carrasquilla, player to watch for Pumas. He's actually been really good at Leagues Cup. He's starting to find his form once again for club. He is starting to find the Carrasquilla we remember from Houston. His first months with Pumas sucked. Let's be real. But he's starting to find it again. Carrasquilla. Starting to find it again. Teams have walked out. Yeah, but doesn't it just live rent-free in every Argentinian's head? Like, doesn't Mexico just live rent-free in every Argentinian's head when it comes to football? And honestly, probably vice versa. Let's be real. Oh, by the way, Villarreal beat Arsenal today. Funny. Arsenal might just stay sucking. Diniahan Herediano today, Central American Cup, Shelahu, Aguila, Hercules, Olympia. Well, we won't really hear those results till tomorrow. Either way, yeah, that's true because it's the only game. Either way, about to get going. Any minute now. Orlando almost tied it. You mean they almost allowed a tying goal? They're already up 1-0. Orlando. Either you mean they scored almost the second goal or they almost got scored on. Oh, by the way, speaking of, the Blue Jays beat the Colorado Rockies 20-1 today. You're right. No joke, the Blue Jays won 20-1. You love to see it. Well, at least I do. The Blue Jays are for real. Has the Dodgers even done that? Have the Dodgers even done that? 20 runs on the Rockies? Have they even done that? Have they even done that? From the rumors, it sounds like he's getting his visa, but we'll see. They got close last year. So you're saying the Blue Jays should win the World Series this year because they actually did it. 20 runs on the Rockies. So you're saying we should win the World Series this year. Funnily enough, guess who the Blue Jays are playing next? The Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. And the Cardinals somehow just beat the Dodgers, so, or at least they had the lead for a little bit, which is crazy. That should not be happening. Let's see. Seems like the game's over. Let's see. And the Cardinals beat the Dodgers. Okay, no. Yeah, the Jays can win a couple of those games. They can. We need at least one of them. We need a couple of them, that's for sure. Cool. Yankees are falling apart. I know. Guess who started that? The Toronto Blue Jays. I know the Dodgers are on a skid, but it's still the Dodgers, though. At least for the Dodgers' sake, they're still first of the West. And it's still playing the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium. But this shows if the Jays are truly real. Well, also the Detroit series. The last time we played a team where it showed we were actually real, we beat Detroit, 3 out of 4? So, hey, here we go. With win, both teams will advance, or each team would advance with a win. I mean, it's still 2 months left in the season, but they're not playing anybody like the Jays anymore, 2 months to play. Under 2 months to play. 12 wins. About 50 days. It's going to be tight. I won't say no, but it wouldn't shock me if they don't pick up 12 wins. But you would think, with the recent form they've been on up until the J series, they might scrape up those 12 wins, but maybe the Jays legitimately just totally killed them. And they're back to what they were in April, and they just skid and only win about 5 to 7, 10 more games this season. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Jordy Mihailovic, TFC, yeah, we've been talking about that yesterday. They have been until they played the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays just killed them. Like, that's what makes me realize it isn't the Detroit series. it isn't the Yankees, the 2 ass whippings we've given the Yankees over the past month. It's the Rockies series that makes me think the Jays are legitimately real. 20 runs in one game, beat the ever-loving hell out of them in game 1, still won pretty convincingly game 2, swept them. Last year, we couldn't even win one. I think we only won one off the Rockies last year, and that year was shit. We were still better than them, but this year, the Jays dominated them at Coors Field, which you should if you're actually real. Sweet and dominant, especially 2 of the 3, game 1 and 3. Yeah, no. The Jays are for real, and we're off. Yeah, that's true. I feel good about it. I like that Jordy's come to TFC. They needed a number 10. He's probably the type of guy to get, especially with MLS experience. Good. It's a good move. 1 minute in. I can't believe he wanted to come to Toronto. He wanted it. I respect it. Pumas wearing blue, Miami wearing pink. But let's remember, last year, the Jays didn't play well against the Rockies. At Sky Dome, by the way. Now, of course, that Jays team was a 4th place team. No, I think $8 million is about right for him. I think it is. We have open DP spots, so it's fine. Pumas cross in. Cleared away. Carrasquilla. Saved by Rios Novo. So, no, I don't. But again, and the Blue Jays now have a plus 55 run differential. All because of the Rockies series. Lovely. For once, yes. 2 minutes in, 0-0, settle. For once, yes. But yeah, the Toronto Blue Jays are truly for real. I say we at least, you know what? I'm being hopeful, but you know what? I think we win the series in LA. I think we win the series at Dodger Stadium, 2 out of 3. This upcoming series. But the good news is right now, if the season ended today, the Blue Jays would have home field advantage throughout the AL playoffs. And if they played anybody but the Brewers in the World Series, they would have home field during the World Series as well. And let's be honest, I don't care how good the Brewers are, they'll still choke. So at this point, if we can hold this, we would have home field throughout the whole playoffs if we made the World Series. Because let's be real, the Brewers will choke. At some point, they'll choke. They will not make the World Series. I don't care if they actually are the best team in the NL record-wise. I don't. They'll choke. Whether that's the Dodgers, whether it's the Mets, I still feel like the Blue Jays are going to see the Dodgers or Mets in the World Series if it is a World Series with the Blue Jays in it. So if it holds like this, we'd have home field against the Mets or the Dodgers or anybody but the Brewers. Nice. I didn't say the Brewers sucked. I know what they do. At some point, the firepower of the Mets or Dodgers will outgun them. That's what it is. In my opinion, the Brewers have a great rotation. They have good hitting. They're similar to the Blue Jays. Except they don't have that Vladdy type character. Or Bo for that matter. They are the Blue Jays without Vladdy. Or Bo. Simply. They don't have a superstar. They don't. 2-0 Orlando. Damn, they're doing well. 2-0 Orlando. Sure about that? Yeah, except they don't have a superstar. That's the difference. We're playing like, and we don't have the history of choking without a superstar in the playoffs. When we're there, we either win the World Series, lose in the ALCS, or, well, okay, but we still had a superstar on our team when we choked to the Mariners. So, and the Twins, we still had a superstar. It's just he wasn't really performing, so you get my point. But the Brewers never did. Never do. They lost to the Cardinals in 82. That's the closest they've ever got. They used to be in the AL once upon a time. Don't forget that. The Brewers, not the Cardinals. Just like the Astros used to be in the NL once upon a time, in the same division as the Cardinals. I'm sure you'll remember that because most of y'all were alive when those NLCSs happened, just like I was. I'll never forget that, though. I'll never forget the AL, the NLCSs between the Cardinals and the Astros, the early 2000s. I'll never forget that. Those are streets won't forget. Streets won't forget. Either way. Streets won't forget. Either way. Yeah, the Brewers are the Jays without a superstar. The Dodgers have superstars. They're all superstars. At some point, the Dodgers have to get back to what they are. And the Mets, they're starting to come around. And the Phillies are still the Phillies. Like, every other NL team truly can outgun the Brewers. Now, you could say, but, well, what if the Jays play the Dodgers? Couldn't the same thing happen to the Jays? No. Or at least I'm not as sure about it. Because the Jays, again, have a couple of superstars. They have Shane Bieber, which I think he'll come back to form pretty damn well if you look at his rehab starts. Scherzer is, even if Scherzer's questionable, when it comes to the playoffs, if he's in the rotation, let's be real. Max Scherzer is going to turn it up a notch. He's going to be unhittable because that's just Max Scherzer. If he's playing in the playoffs, he's going to be unhittable because that's just Max Scherzer. And he's still been pretty good when he's come back healthy. He's still been pretty good for the Jays. But when the playoffs come around, if he's still in the rotation, come on now. You know what Max Scherzer does in the playoffs. You know. You know. You know. If he's healthy. You know. David Freese is my hero. You know, it sucks he doesn't want to be at the Cardinals Hall of Fame. It really sucks. It is. Oh, it's 3-0 Orlando. Holy Lord. Luis Muriel. Either way, yeah. The streets won't forget David Freese either. Streets won't forget David Freese either. Why he doesn't want to be in the Cardinals Hall of Fame, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. He doesn't think he deserves it. But, dude, David Freese is the reason why they won in 2011. Like, no joke. Well, no, he was also the NLCS MVP. Like, he legit had a really good playoffs. It wasn't just one night. He legit had a really good playoffs. But, you know, I don't understand it, really. I don't. 9th minute. 0-0, settle. I see Astros or Blue Jays the World Series. Astros suck right now, but I feel like once their players get out of the IL, they'll be strong. Yeah, I think the ALCS will be Blue Jays, Astros. I think you're right. I still think the Blue Jays are a better team, even with a healthy Astros versus healthy Blue Jays. And we'll also have home field. I still think the Blue Jays are a better team. I really do. And I don't think that's biased. I just think that's the truth. I think the Blue Jays are a wagon right now. But, I mean, I'm glad he's leaving Chelsea. Enjoy him at Newcastle, but I'm glad he's leaving Chelsea. But, honestly, yes. Rapids tomorrow. We'll be live for that one, Mile High. So, trade-wise, you could trade players during the offseason, also during free agency, but during the regular season, you could trade players from spring training to July 31st. Normally, you don't trade anybody till the last couple of weeks of July. Because with the wild card being 3 teams per conference or league, and the 3 division winners, 6 teams per league, go to the playoffs, more teams think they're in it by July 31st. So less teams are going to sell. And normally the players that get traded are players who have expiring contracts at the end of the year. It's not really, unless you're the Athletics, you're not really trading people with term left on their contract over a year and a half. Mostly a half season, but over a year and a half, you might see a couple of those. Let's be real, though. Or you're the Minnesota Twins, because that's how Astros got Correa back. Correa had term. He has, 3 years left on his Twins deal? So he's going to be in Houston for 3 more years. He's back in Houston. The Twins blew it up. Allende, shot blocked away. Normally, the Athletics, hell, they even traded Mason Miller. I can't believe they did that. I cannot believe they did that, knowing they're going to Las Vegas in 2 years and he'd still be under arm. Huh? That didn't make no sense. I'm sorry. The Padres traded for Mason Miller and the Athletics said, sure, we'll trade him. Knowing damn well they're going to Vegas in 2 years and he'd still be under arm. He'd still have control. What? No, that made no sense. John Fisher is a scumbag. Either way. Oh, and Atlanta's beating Atlas 1-0. Speaking of scores, no score in this game so far. Even so far, it's 50-50. But so basically, up from February to July 31st, players can be traded. But that's very rare that there's a trade before the last 2 weeks of July. If a team knows they're out, they may. But basically, whoever you go into the season with as an MLB team, you really can't make upgrades to your roster if you're competing until the end of July. Very likely. There's a rare trade that's in April or May. And even then, that's probably still a rental. Unless you just know you're out of it. But why would you? But it makes more sense just to wait and get. That was off his shoulder. That's not a handball. And get the best offer. Corey Seager is my hero, says Isaiah. Don't blame you. That series, he was amazing. Hell, the NLCS too. David Freese was amazing. He was World Series MVP for the Dodgers 2020. Took out the Astros and Diamondbacks in 23. Yep. Corey Seager is an amazing player. Sadly enough, the Rangers have fell off heavily. As of now, yes. The past month and a half, hell, since the end of May, they've been the best team in baseball. One of the 2 or 3 best teams in baseball record-wise. Yes. Now, of course, the Red Sox are good right now, but I think they'll cool down. I think the Jays will be more consistent than the Red Sox. The Red Sox are hot, but they're doing what the Jays did. Now, the question is the Red Sox going to be as consistent once their streak ends like the Jays have been? I don't think so. The Red Sox are a good team. I'm not saying they're not, but I think the Blue Jays, they do, but I think the Blue Jays are more well-rounded, and I think they're more consistent. The Sox seem like they're burning bright, but once they stop burning, how much of the flame are they going to, how many embers are going to still be lit is my question. The Blue Jays still have lit embers. If not, still a fire. It's just not as bright as it was when they had that 11-game winning streak. I like the Blue Jays' chances of still winning the division. I do. No, MLS has not surpassed Liga MX. They're close, but Man, if the Blue Jays could pull the same thing, I would not complain at all. If the Blue Jays could do what the Rangers did, if we were shit, which I don't think we would be as bad as the Rangers have been over the past 2 years. If we're like the Braves, I think if the Blue Jays win this year, they're going to be more like the Braves post-21. That's my opinion. I don't think they're going to be the Rangers. I think they'll be a good team. Now, of course, they're better than the Braves in 21, but listen, the Blue Jays will have higher expectations. They'll win the division. If they win the World Series, they'll still win the division, but getting knocked out by a wild card team in the division series, like the Braves were, that seems likely to me. I think we'd be more of the Braves of the past of 22, 23, 24 than the Rangers if we win the World Series, which I won't complain about because we have a ring. But you complain about it with the Braves because it's funny. I complained about it with the Braves because it's kind of the Braves' MO. It's not really mad about it. It's more like, well, damn, the Braves were the best team in baseball, then they choked in the playoffs. That's kind of their MO. If you look at the 90s and then the recent run for the Braves, when they won the World Series, nobody expected it. Nobody expected the Braves to win the World Series when they did. When they actually had expectations, they choked. That's kind of their MO. Kind of is. It's funny because it's true. 17th minute. It's funny because it's true, but either way. Oh. Yankee Stadium would rather have a football match than the actual Yankees. That's how bad the Yankees are. Take that, Michael K. First place team. Blue Jays aren't a first place team, my ass. Who started all this failure for the Yankees? The Toronto Blue Jays. You will know, Michael K. Bow down. Bow down. Where's a broom? I don't have a broom like Jamie Campbell. Bow down. I can't throw a broom because I don't have one like Jamie Campbell. So, either way, Michael K., shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. First place, not a first place team, my ass. Pitcher. Well, no, goalkeepers. Goalkeepers, then pitchers, then basketball players. But Jamie Moyer, Streets won't forget. Streets won't forget Jamie Moore. Oh, yeah, they did move the Columbus and Miami games. Probably because of Leagues Cup. Well, there you go. Either way, point is, Michael K. Hey, if the Jays end up being a one-ring team instead of a... I don't care. I just want a ring. I just want to see them win. Like, if they just won in 2015, I would have been happy. 2016 was... They made the ALCS, but that just wasn't... That the wheels were always going to kind of fall off of that one, but it was fun while it lasted. Let's remember, I was not alive in 92 and 93. All I know are freaking is my yearly rewatch of 92 and 93 with all the games on YouTube. Yes, I do. It's like when I watch the baseball documentary by Ken Burns every winter because it's awesome to do. But either way, you can find every World Series game the Blue Jays played on YouTube. No joke. All I know about 92 and 93 are my yearly rewatches on YouTube because why not? You know, why not? Oh, and the Coca-Cola ads. Oh, by the way, speaking of Coca-Cola Canada, you better not shortchange us if we win. If we win the World Series, you know what to do. In 2015 and 16, they made modern always Coca-Cola ads for the Blue Jays when they made the playoffs. They didn't do that in 2020, 22, or 23, which I'm kind of glad they didn't, considering those did not end well. But if we win the World Series, you know what to do. Do not shortchange me. Do not shortchange me. You know what to do. Do not shortchange me. Or I'll start drinking Dr. Pepper for the whole freaking winter if you do shortchange me. Isn't Dr. Pepper cheaper anyway? Either way. Oh, and also the 7-Up Shirley Temples, if they come back for Christmas. I hope they do. Those were good. Either way, 0-0, 0-0, a 50-50 match. Pumas have had some moments. Miami have had some moments. The question is, who breaks through? 50-50. It's been down the middle the whole way. Point being is, if the Blue Jays win the World Series, I kind of want to see one Always Coca-Cola ad before the World Series win and then one after. Yeah, you know what to do. And if you don't, I'll just start drinking Dr. Pepper for the whole winter because I don't want to be shortchanged. I'm still going. If I see those Shirley Temples, I'm still going to get them. If I see those 7-Up Shirley Temples around Christmas, I'm still getting them. Still am. But, because those were good. But, if they come back. But either way. Because if you know me, I do like Dr. Pepper. Whenever I do. I'd say it's second place. "22nd minute. Not diet. Regular Dr. Pepper, no diet. My mom's the one who likes diet Dr. Pepper. Makes sense, doesn't it? Either way. It all makes sense now, doesn't it? Either way. Well, the question is, will they bring them back? If they bring them back, yeah. You're still going to get more Sprite cranberries, though. You're still probably going to get more of the Sprite cranberry, though. But maybe like the case of the Shirley Temples, just put that on your can wall. Are you doing that again? Are you doing that again? 22nd minute. 0-0, 0-0. "23rd minute. Canada Dry Cranberry Winter Multi-Pack. Okay, so you're doing the can wall again. Okay. Playing forward. Holiday traditions. Suarez. DePaul. Cross. Suarez actually had a good pass there. Did he actually keep that alive? Blocked away, but, well, okay. Suarez is actually trying a little bit harder tonight. It's weird. Why is Suarez so, I don't know if I should say so good, but why is Suarez just better when Messi's not playing? Like, ever since, whenever Messi's hurt, for some reason, or suspended, Suarez just brings up his level, especially in Miami. What is it? Like, the dude doesn't look as good unless Messi's not playing. Does he feel like more responsibility or something? Like he has to do something? I don't get it. Well, I mean, I'd say the Always Coca-Cola era, especially the Blue Jays ones. But even the ones that aren't, like the original Always Coca-Cola that wasn't a Blue Jays commercial, that jingle, Always Coca-Cola, The 90s commercials, the bottle cap ones, yeah, no, those are the best ones. I prefer the Blue Jays ones the most, but, you know. But out of your question, and I know they still know the Always Coca-Cola. They still, and because of their Christmas commercial last year, they had the Always Coca-Cola referenced in there. I know you still, so it's still part of their branding. So again, I say, don't shortchange me if the Blue Jays win a World Series or they get deep enough in the playoffs for you to make one. Don't shortchange me. I say again, I will, well, if we make the division series, you got a week. With the wild card and the fact the season ends on September 28th, you got a week. If we make it straight to the division series, you got a week. Don't shortchange me for a pre-World Series champions one. Don't. If we go straight to, if we play the wild card series, you didn't do it the past 3 times. I understand why. We got to make the division series. Yeah. 27th minute. 0-0, 0-0. th minute. th minute. The Rockies have a run differential of minus 316. The modern era record is minus 349 from the 1932 Red Sox. The Rockies are probably going to beat that, aren't they? This is just a unfortunate headline. Tua Tagovailoa is not too sure how he landed on the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition. Corner for Miami. I think we know how he's not too sure, but that's just unfortunate. That's just an unfortunate headline. You just opened that up for jokes. I don't know if I want to, though. Cross in. I don't know. Maybe a Mets game would be better. And you don't have to spend any money for it. I mean, I'd consider it. Oh, yeah, they moved the New York game, I think. So, yeah, go to the Mets game. Shit, if I was given free baseball tickets, well. If somebody out of nowhere said, hey, you want to go to a baseball game for free with me? I'd be like, sure, screw it. Or just free tickets. I'd be like, you know what? Yeah. Santi Moreno failed to show up to Portland's match tonight. Huh? Okay, that just Pumas over the top. 0-0. Falcon, offside. That'll be a goal kick for Miami. 4-0 Orlando. Holy Lord. 4-0 Orlando. Pumas sitting third with a draw. Orlando has a +6 goal differential. Well, yeah, as long as Seattle and Portland win their matches, they'd be above them, no matter what. No matter what way the win is. 30th minute. The 4-point teams could still catch down the 7-point teams. They all have to play. They all have to play. I don't think 6 points would be enough to advance. So Colorado probably won't advance either. Charlotte has 4 points. They can't get anything out of that. Atlanta won't advance. Colorado can't advance. Salt Lake could get 6 points, but they won't advance because 6 points probably won't be enough. The 4 4-point teams probably could still advance. And they play. Minnesota plays. Today. LA Galaxy plays tomorrow. Cincinnati plays tomorrow. Salt Lake plays tonight. Seattle and Portland play tonight. 32nd minute. That's their choice. And Myles Garrett's not a quarterback. But over Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, hell, even Dillon Gabriel, I'm surprised. Didn't they say, like, Shedeur was going through an injury anyway? Like, it doesn't seem like that was really a GM coach decision. That was more of an owner or something like that. They didn't all agree on that pick in Cleveland. DePaul plays it straight to a Pumas player. I'm not too sure. They have too many quarterbacks. Obviously, just have too many quarterbacks. Also, Tyler Huntley. Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley. But I'm not too sure. I'm not. I want Shedeur to do well, but I don't know if they want him to do well. Atlas is losing 1-0. And that's a goal for Pumas. Pumas. 0-1. Rubalcaba scores. And that's not good for Miami. Jorge Rubalcaba. Pumas get the opening goal. .33rd minute. 0-1. 0-1. Miami has to get the goal, get the equalizer at some point. Playing forward. Vite plays it forward. Ball played back to Vite. Vite plays it to Rubalcaba over the top. He's onside, and boom! Beautiful play by Vite that leads to the goal by Rubalcaba. Perfect run and perfect shot. Pedro Vite with the assist. Not too surprised. 50-50 and Pumas break through first. Miami have to get the equalizer and at least win on penalties if they want to advance. Rubalcaba, goal for Pumas, 33rd minute. 0-1, 0-1. Miami has to find. It's 50-50 and Pumas break through. DePaul with a corner. Cross in. Brought down. Nothing there. 36th minute. DePaul. Cross. Header. Nope. But DePaul picks it back up. Cross in. Nobody's there. Saved. Too bad he didn't stay at Standard Liège, which is Ochoa's old team. Ochoa played at Standard Liège, yeah. Yeah, he did. Not surprised. 37th minute. How we doing, Rory? By the way, you hear about Santi Moreno? I don't know what the hell's going on. Frankly. Playing forward. Allende. Miami is down 1-0. Cross in. Headed away. Allende loses the ball. Busquets picks it up. Good play. Blocked. Pumas are doing very well defensively. I mean, they should discipline him. And that is what he did, very selfish. If not. Miami's down 1-0. They have to win to advance. Weingart. Segovia. Lord. Yeah. 38th minute. Boop. Corner for Miami. Alba to take. 38th minute. Jordi Alba. Segovia. Jordi Alba. Cross. Header. Lujan. And they can break. Carrasquilla. No shots on goal for Miami. That's not good enough. "39th minute. Pumas so far, just good enough. Cross in. Saved by Rios Novo. Oh. "40th minute. Shello Weingart plays it backwards. Miami's got to find an equalizer at the very least and then see how penalties goes. Or just win the damn game. But no Messi, that's going to be tough. Cleared away. That was a bad pass by DePaul. All the good players this team has, and they still need Messi. I thought at least having DePaul would kind of change that, but no. I thought at least DePaul was young enough and had enough quality that at least with DePaul, if there was no Messi, blocked over the top by Gende. Nope. It's like you would think, but either way, Bright, Carrasquilla, DePaul, over the top, Weingart, and he lost the ball. Jesus Christ. 42nd minute. They probably should have played Noah Allen over Lujan for sure. Playing forward. 42nd minute. Weingart. $42. CONCACAF's not going to let Miami not pass, and it's Pumas, so it's a hell no. I don't, trust me, I don't think, do you really think they're going to just screw Pumas like that? I don't really have a feeling about that. I don't think Miami's getting themselves into positions where they could get Pumas screwed either. That's the problem. Or they just could have called that as a handball, and I guess there you go. But cross in. Whoa. Corner? Yes. 43rd minute. Nope, it's a goal kick. See, you call that a corner kick, that would have been the start of screwing this other team, or Pumas. Cross. I mean, he did kind of get a touch to it. You could make the argument he kind of, his fingers hit it. Fingertips. Uh, 44th minute. Playing forward. 45th minute. Miami hadn't had a shot on goal yet. Cross in. And goal! Rodrigo DePaul scores! Suarez with the assist! DePaul! The ball fell perfectly for him. And it's 1-1. Uno. Miami ties it up right before the half. Rodrigo DePaul with the goal. Messi is smiling. His field bodyguard just scored. Suarez with the assist. Clean play. Because Nathan kind of quit on the play. He let Suarez get to it. Suarez puts down a damn curling cross. Onside ball. And what a shot by DePaul. heads-up play, and it's tied. Rodrigo de Paul. And it's 1-1, 45th minute. What a ball. Like, there is no offside there. I don't know what there. 1 minute of stoppage time. 45th minute. 1-1, uno. If Miami wins on penalties, or whoever wins, whoever wins, whether it's outright or penalties, they would advance. Miami finally had a shot on goal, and it was a goal. And it's halftime. 1-1, uno, medio tiempo. Miami, it was a 50-50 game, and guess what? The first half ends up 50-50, a 1-1 draw, uno, medio tiempo. DePaul right at the end there slots it home. Wow. What a heads-up play. It's offside, but the cheat has started. That was not – nah. That was not offside. When Suarez got the ball, he ran towards it. When he crossed it, DePaul was still – no. I don't see it. They would have checked it at least a little bit if it was even close. With that being said, we'll take a short break at the half. Talk about the stats, get this one going. I've never seen a Mini Cooper ad on frickin' Season Pass. That's new. Weird. But we'll be back. Sit tight. We'll take a short break. 1-1. Let's see if Miami could hold or just take the lead in general. Let's look at the other halftime scores before we push on. Orlando 5-0. Atlanta United 3-0. Pumas 1-1 versus Miami. We'll take a short break at the half, talk about the stats, get this one going. Sit tight. We will be back. Well, extra point would put them third place. An outright win would put them top for now. An outright win. Miami does need an outright win to advance. They would be in okay position with a penalty shootout win, but they have to have an outright win to advance. So they need to win. But with that being said, sit tight, be back. Short break at the half. 1-1, uno. We're back for the stats at the half. We got 57% possession to 43% possession, 10 shots to 5, 1 shot on goal to 3, 237 accurate passes, 89%, pass accuracy to 182, 87%, 5 fouls to 8, 4 corners to 1, 10 shots to 5, 1 shot on target to 3. We have 265 passes to 210, 89% pass accuracy to 87% pass accuracy. We have 6 throws to 3, 2 offside to 1, 0 yellow cards to 1, 0 red cards to 0, 1-1 at the half. Uno. Pumas to third place with a draw. 6 points. It's definitely probably not going to be enough. But point is, either team probably actually has to win outright to advance to the next round. A shootout might not be enough for either team. Either way, 50-50 game throughout the first half. Miami had 1 shot on goal. That was their goal. Pumas had 3 shots on goal. 1 of them was a goal. 50-50 game, really. I'd say Pumas' defense is a little bit more solid than Miami's. No problem. Miguel Paul, the goalie, he has not had an opportunity to absolutely throw the game away yet. Problem is both teams know they probably have to win outright, so they're going to have to chase this game. The question being, who is in a worse position if that happens? Orlando winning 5-0, Atlanta winning 3-0, 1-1 for Miami Pumas. Atletico Minnesota is about to start. Atletico versus Minnesota is about to start. America plays Portland tonight. Salt Lake, Querétaro, Seattle, Tijuana. Your girlfriend hadn't stopped laughing since you got home from work. She's a Red Bull supporter. Hey, you know what? She could have her moment. That's life. Do that what you will. Yeah. But the second half will start very soon, within the next 6 to 7 minutes. 1.08 XG. How, though? 9 shots, none on goal except the goal. That's interesting. Second half about to start. Second half about to start. Second half starts very soon. We're just waiting for it to get going. Waiting for the second half to start. Miami has a tie. Second half is about to start. Second half, here we go. That was kind of quick. Either way, 1-1 at the half. Ian Fry is on for Miami. That's a good move. Piero Kipe for Pumas. Yes. Will be subbed on. So there's your sub for each team. See who they got subbed on for. Miami, let's be real, either team needs to win outright to advance. So each team's going to push for it. This ain't going to stay 1-1. They can't just shake hands and say whoever wins the shootout. No, and even then, why would you do that? Miami to kick off the second half. The good news for Miami is they scored right before the half, so the momentum is on their side. The bad news is no Messi. 45th minute. Playing forward. Jordi Alba. "45th minute. "5-1, actually. Orlando got scored on. Ball crossed through. Cross in. Oh, no! Alba runs through. Jordi Alba with another cross. Header. Fry. Plays it backwards. Doesn't exactly have a play there. He could have taken a chance, but he didn't. Ian Fry is on for Marcelo Weingart. Free kick for Miami. Piero Kipe is on for Pumas. For Lopez. Well, actually, as long as you have ESPN on a cable system or YouTube TV, All you have to do is authenticate your cable, sign into the direct-to-consumer service through your cable or YouTube TV, and you don't have to pay any extra. At least that's the way it reads to me for their direct-to-consumer service. Goal! Suarez scores! Suarez 2-1! 2-1! Miami! Suarez! Goal de Suarez! What the hell is he doing with a hat? Somebody explain to me what the hat was for. Either way, Suarez scores a banger. It bounces in. There's going to be a new app for the direct-to-consumer. ESPN Plus is still going to be a thing, which that I do have. Oh, Suarez might have been offside. Suarez might have been offside, actually. Now, that one might have been offside. Either way, we'll see how he makes the run. Yeah, it looks to me they're probably going to take it away. We'll see, though. I think it probably is. But offside. It's 1-1 once again. Yep. Too early for a screw job. Too early for a screw job. Suarez's goal doesn't stand, but that was the right call. He was offside. But what if I have an ESPN channel connecting to the TV provider? Then it should be free. From what I can read, as long as you sign in to the direct-to-consumer ESPN app through your cable or YouTube TV, I would think you don't have to pay for it. Yeah, I wasn't the only one who was angry. We all were. They get Jordy, but get rid of Spicer. 1+ for 1-. But either way. '50th minute. How we doing? Yep. Or they don't have. Which you would think that. But again, you're already paying for ESPN if you pay for cable or other TV systems. Yellow card for Pumas. So as far as I could read, but for what I can tell, as long as you have cable and you authenticate through the cable through the direct-to-consumer app, the new ESPN app, it should be free. But that's as far as I could read. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but we'll find out soon. Because it's coming out before the end of the year, probably before the college football season even starts. If it doesn't, I'll tell you this. If that doesn't work, the pay-per-views don't move there till 26. Like the WWE pay-per-views don't move to the new ESPN app till 2026. But I'm definitely going to see how that direct-to-consumer ESPN app works and authenticate it before that happens. and see if that's the case. That if you have YouTube TV, like ESPN on YouTube TV or cable, that it would. Well, they have other agreements. Like they have Sky Sports and other agreements to watch the same sports we do. Suarez over the bar. That'll go wide, goal kick. Well, technically, wouldn't they be our farm team, actually? We have a symbiotic relationship, it seems, with the Colorado Rapids. But I guess, yeah, if they want ESPN, but they probably have to use a VPN to get that anyway. Playing forward, 53rd minute. Oh. 53rd minute, no Ayala. '54th minute. He got injured previous game. It's minor. Held out for precaution. Okay. 1-1, 54th minute. Miami's got either of these teams have to win outright. Playing forward. Jordy Mihailovic, I think he just wants to play. I don't think he's a plant. Huh. Would you be happy if Chelsea gets Isak? Yeah, but they're not going to get him. Besides, we have João Pedro anyway. So it doesn't matter. We have João Pedro anyway. '56th minute. Who's winning the Caribbean Cup? I'd say probably Cavalier or Robin Hood. I think we're going to get a Cavalier Robin Hood rematch in the final. I legitimately do. Handball penalty. Deep out of Miami. Handball. Handball on Pumas. 56th minute. Cibal. Possible. 57th minute. Penalty for Miami. Suarez to take the penalty. Suarez. To take the lead. 58th minute. Penalty for Suarez versus Paul. Suarez. He scored the leading goal that got taken away for offside. Can he do it again with this penalty? Technically, he probably should. And he Panenkas him. 2-1 Miami. Goal for Suarez. There's his goal. So let's go and pull out the cowboy hat again. Dos uno, 2-1. There it is. So he did pull out the cowboy hat again. 58th minute. 2-1, dos uno. There it is. Miami has the lead. That's good for them. Can they hold on to it? With that, 2-1, they will be at 7-8 points. They would be above Orlando and Columbus. Caicedo did handball it. Why isn't Navas the goalie? He got a red card in their last game against Orlando. So there you go. Now, if Seattle and Portland win, they'll have 9 points, and Miami and Orlando would be above Columbus. Columbus could be out. They will be. If Portland and Seattle both win, Columbus will be out of this tournament. And Miami and Orlando would advance with Portland and Seattle. If one of the two lose, well, hell, even losing with a draw would still put Portland and Seattle through over Columbus and LAFC. As long as Seattle and Portland draw, they would advance. If they win with a penalty shootout, they would be above Miami. If they win outright, they would be above Miami. Basically, if you're Seattle and Portland, if they win a shootout or win outright, they would advance as well. There would be one spot left to get. Miami would have 8 points. They'd be through. Seattle and Portland would have 9. They'd be through. Or 8. They'd be through. Orlando would be holding on for dear life against Galaxy, Minnesota, Cincinnati, and Red Bull. Anybody with 3 points or less is eliminated at this point when it comes to the MLS side of things. Red Bull, Cincinnati, LA Galaxy, Minnesota, all are alive. Portland, Seattle are alive to make the top 4. As of now, Columbus and LAFC are probably dead to rights. LAFC is probably definitely dead to rights. Columbus is very likely dead to rights if this Miami result holds. Now, the problem with Miami is if they draw this game and win on a shootout, they're the ones who are probably dead to rights and not Columbus because they don't have a +1 goal differential. So right now, they'd be advancing. If they allow a goal and don't get a winner back, header. Oh, no. Blocked away. That's out for a corner. 62nd minute, 2-1, dos uno, and they almost blew it right there. So that Colorado Cruz Azul game does not matter at all for either side. I'll still do it, though. I'll still do the game, though, but either way. It's very possible after tonight, at least on the MLS side, it's very possible that after tonight, on the MLS side, none of the games tomorrow matter on the MLS side corner. Well, that's true. Cincinnati plays tomorrow. Galaxy play tomorrow. Red Bull play tomorrow. Okay, they might matter, but I'm not changing what I picked. Cross in. Clear the damn ball. Miami does. Segovia took a run with it. That was honestly kind of stupid. 63rd minute, but okay. Free kick for Pumas. Falcon. Free kick. I was like, don't tell me. So Atlanta United 3-0, Miami 2-1, Orlando 5-1, Minnesota 0-0 as we speak. They've just started playing 20 minutes. Portland America, Salt Lake, Querétaro, Seattle, Tijuana are the rest of the games tonight. I'm only live for this one and reviewing this one, though. And we'll do Cruz Azul, Colorado tomorrow. Seems like Felipe Carballo signing his contract with Portland today or tomorrow. Good. And then Friday, of course, I will do the group stage, league phase recap, knockout stage predictions for the Leagues Cup. Free kick for Pumas. Cross in. Header. That's going to go out for another corner or a corner. That free kick might as well have been a corner. Similar idea. 64th minute. Now, the top four as it stands when it comes to Liga MX have all played their third game. Everybody else who's playing is out of the top four. Juarez, if they lose, Puebla will still advance. Juarez would actually, well, I don't know. They'll be equal to Tigres. If they win, they'll actually be above Tigres, but Puebla is in the danger zone. If Juarez wins, they'll be above Tigres. Mazatlan is out. They've played their third game. Miami playing the ball forward. Tijuana can still get 6 points if they beat Seattle, and they could advance with 2 wins. And what's their goal differential? -2. So they would have to win outright, and even then their goal differential might not help them. Their goal differential would not help them advance because they'd still have the same amount of regulation wins as Puebla, so they're out, very likely so. Atletico San Luis, if they win, their goal differential is probably not good enough. America, even if we know they're mathematically eliminated, 6 points. If they win, they only had 2 draws. They had 1 penalty shootout win and 1 penalty shootout loss. They have no regulation wins. That's their problem. That's why they're eliminated. Monterrey cannot pick up anything but 5 points. They're cooked. So San Luis and Tijuana are very much cooked unless they have a really high goal swing. They're still alive, but they have to have a really high goal swing just to get through. San Luis would have to win by 6 against Minnesota just to go through. Tijuana would have to win by 4 against Seattle just to go through. So they're probably cooked. They're probably as good as cooked. Allende! Save! Hit it right to the hands of the keeper. So San Luis and Tijuana are about as good as cooked. So Juarez are the ones who could still advance. It's pretty much what does Juarez do against Red Bull, and can Pumas come back and win this game? That's pretty much your story here. Can Pumas come back and win this game? That's pretty much your story here, or just at least win the shootout. Them winning the shootout, wait, no, that would only give them one regulation win. They'd have to win outright anyway. So can Pumas come back and win? And what does Juarez do against Red Bull? That's your big stories for the Mexican side of things. Or the top four will hold. Puebla could survive the night, but Juarez plays tomorrow. If Pumas loses this, Juarez will survive, or Puebla will survive the night in the top four. The question is, what happens tomorrow with Juarez? So do with that what you will. Because I don't see Tijuana beating Seattle by 4 goals. They would have better goals scored than Puebla if they do that, though. So, even with the goal differential. So, I don't see them beating Seattle by 4. I don't. Even if they win. Allende! Goal! 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 Today Allende scores for Miami. This time he slots it home. Similar run to his last shot, but this time he slotted home low. 3-1, 3-1, Tadeo Allende. That should be enough for Miami. 68 minutes. 3-1, 3-1. Well, sadly enough, they probably are. I guess Pumas had to open up to equalize, and that's why Miami could. Suarez with the assist. Suarez with 2 assists and 1 goal. Is he actually man of the match? I'd say yes. Perfect run for INJ. Allende. Perfect run for Allende. Perfect run. He was onside. Yep. 3-1. 3-1. That's wide. 70th minute. Damn good play so far. Miami came back and stepped up. They knew they were staring down the barrel of an elimination. Maybe Portland will cook America. They will. America rotated. Actually, let's look at their 11. Let's see if it shows up on FOTMob. Rodolfo Cota, Juarez, Cáceres, Orquin, Espinosa, Gutierrez, Cervantes, Sanchez, Rodriguez, Davila, Jose Raul. Yeah, they rotated. Then Pumas can pass. Yeah, here's the problem, though. Pumas only have 5 points. They need 6 to advance. Puebla's already at 6 points. Tigres are already at 6 points. It's only the top 4. They're screwed anyway. The America result has nothing to do with Pumas. Nothing. Puebla already played their last game. They have 6 points. Juarez has 5, but can get 6 if they play Red Bull. Juarez is the team that really has a chance to out Puebla. Because Tigres would be 4th place if Juarez were to beat Red Bull. Even with a penalty shootout win, they would still have a point above Tigres. Well, actually, as long as Juarez picks up a point, they're going to be in the top 4. And Puebla will be eliminated. Juarez has to lose to keep Puebla in, because Tigres would fall down to 4th. If Juarez wins the shootout, Tigres would fall down to 4th. If Juarez wins outright, they would be above Toluca, actually. They have more goals. They have a better goal differential than Toluca with the same amount of wins. Toluca would be 2nd if Juarez wins outright against Red Bull. If they win on a shootout, they'd be above Pachuca, behind Toluca. If they just draw and even lose the shootout, they'll be above Tigres. But Tigres would finish 4th and Puebla would be out. So as long as Juarez doesn't lose their ass, they would advance. Basically, if you're Puebla, you will survive tonight. With this result, Puebla will survive tonight in 4th place. Juarez plays tomorrow. I'm not changing my game that I'm going live for. I'm not. I'm not. I should, but I'm not. Because that Cruz Azul game and Cruz Azul and Colorado game does not matter at all. But I'm not changing it. Suarez, cross, Segovia, shot save, 74th minute. So there's your answer there. Playing forward. The good news is Miami has 2 goals. Playing forward, 75th minute. Keylor Navas is watching, yeah. Because he could still watch like Messi is. '75th minute. Segovia's off. Segovia's off for Noah Allen. Miami should advance unless they absolutely just piss down their own leg. They can't screw this up, can they? I mean, where they are with 14 minutes to go, 2-goal lead, Fafa Pico on for Allende. There's no way they could screw this up, right? No, I'm not trying to jinx them. I'm not trying to do that. But yeah, when it comes to the Cruz Azul Colorado Rapids game, Colorado Rapids game versus Cruz Azul. Hey, when I put it on the schedule, I didn't think Cruz Azul was going to get stomped out by Seattle. I ain't changing. But you could have changed when they did. You got a point, but I didn't realize Red Bull Juarez was going to mean so much either. I've already advertised one. I can't just stomp out, change it. 72nd minute or 78th minute. My bad. And that'll be a goal kick, 78th minute. Miami should be able to advance. Cross. Miami, 78th minute. Cross in. Out for a goal kick. 3-1, 3-1 with 11 minutes to go plus stoppage time. This should be good enough for Miami, but who knows? There will be MLS matches this weekend. There will be MLS matches this weekend. And we'll be live for the Toronto game on Saturday. Saturday, right? It's Saturday? Saturday. I think it's Saturday. Either way, Toronto versus Philly. Yep, on Saturday. Philly playing. Toronto playing in Philly. Yes. 80th minute. Cross in. Shot over the bar. 10 minutes to go. Why is Toronto not competing here? Because they didn't make the playoffs last year. Every MLS team that's competing in this tournament, besides San Diego, made the playoffs last year. Vancouver did not compete in this tournament because they had to play the Can Champ and the Champions Cup. They could only play 2 of the 4 domestic cups that weren't MLS. So that just so happened to make an opening for San Diego. So Vancouver's spot got taken by San Diego, but everybody else made the playoffs of the 18 MLS teams that are in this tournament. Toronto did not make the playoffs. So that's what the Leagues Cup will be. Well, I don't know. Maybe it won't. I don't know. In theory, the Leagues Cup will still be the 18 teams that made the playoffs out of the MLS and all Liga MX. So they won't make it next year either unless, well, say the line. Well, you know it. Say the line. Busquets plays forward. Suarez saved by Paul. 81st minute. So Toronto didn't make the playoffs last year. That's why. They would have been absolutely destroyed anyway, even if they did make this tournament. Let's be real. So you know what? I'm glad. Yeah, we don't have an extra way to get to Champions Cup, but you know what? Will we even make it close to that Final 3? No. Damn near dropped a fire truck there, but you know, whatever. It's not late enough for that. 82nd minute. It's not late enough for that. Over the top. Should I do that? If it is on Spotify, I guess I am putting that on my playlist. My 365 playlist. Fire Truck by Smosh. 82nd minute. Suarez coming off for Kromashki. 2 assists and 1 goal from Suarez tonight. And 1 ghost goal. He actually is man of the match. Seriously, what is with Suarez performing better when Messi's out? Ever since he got to Miami, whenever Messi's out, Suarez just performs better. I don't know what it is. Does he just save everything for those games when Messi's not playing? Because he feels more responsibility or something? I don't know. It's like, I know they could do the group project without me if a certain guy's in the group, but if he's not in the group, I got to do more work. Which I respect that, but to a certain extent. But either way, 83rd minute. Here comes Miami. Rounds the keeper, Kromashki. Shot wide past the post. That could have been 4. Not good enough. I can't believe he missed that. Review for this game once it's over within the hour. We will do that. Eh? Playing forward, 85th minute. He got caught in 2 minds. Well, here's the thing, though. He should have just shot the damn thing. Hopefully that doesn't bite Miami in the ass with 5+ minutes to go. That's when you lose your momentum, is moments like that where you could have put the nail through the coffin and you didn't. Because you didn't. They could have put the nail in the coffin right then and there. Orlando won 5-1. Atlanta United's winning 4-0. Minnesota San Luis is still a draw at the half, 0-0. Now, if Minnesota, no, because head-to-head or regulation wins are the first tiebreaker of this tournament. They don't have enough to jump above teams who have 6 points. Tigres has 2 regulation wins. Puebla has 2 regulation wins. If Juarez wins, well, they'd have more than 6 points anyway. They only have 1 regulation win, but the problem being, I guess they would be under Tigres then if they only drew and lost the shootout. 87th minute. Either way, regulation wins is the first tiebreaker of this tournament. So if a team is more they equal points to you, but they had more points because of the shootout wins, you're above them because you had more regulation wins. Like if you had 7 points because you had 2 regulation wins and 1 loss, and a team had 2 regulation win and 2 shootout wins, the team with 1 loss and 2 regulation wins would be above the team with 2 shootout wins and 1 regulation win. So. And the way that America has 3 points is a shootout loss and a shootout win. If they get to 6 points, they have a shootout win and a regular win. They would not have 2 regular wins. So that's the problem for them. Redondo coming on for DePaul. 88th minute, 3-1, 3-1. Miami winning. So, yeah, that is kind of a stupid tiebreaker, but it is a tiebreaker. But it's kind of like MLS, how if you know, wins is the first tiebreaker. It doesn't matter your goal differential as long as you have more wins than a certain team. Yes. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying earlier. For the 4th place spot, it's either Puebla or Juarez. And right now, Puebla's, because of Pumas' loss, Puebla is alive for the rest of the night. Tomorrow is where it could go wrong for them. And basically for Puebla, Juarez has to lose. It's that simple. If Juarez draws, if Juarez draws and loses on the shootout, they would have 6 points. But again, they only have 1 regulation win. Puebla and Tigres both have 2 regulation wins. So Puebla would advance. If Juarez wins a penalty shootout or wins outright, they would advance. But if they lose the shootout, they would be out. Tigres isn't cooked anymore. No, because they'd still make 4th place. If Juarez wins the shootout, they'd have 7 points. They'd be above Tigres, but Tigres is 4th. If Juarez wins outright, they would have 8 points and be above Toluca because of their goal differential. Pachuca 3rd, Tigres 4th, Toluca 2nd. Basically, if Juarez loses, either way they lose, they're out. If they win, no matter how, they're through over Puebla. But Tigres would still be alive because of their goal differential. And Atletico San Luis is winning 1-0. Not that that helps them at all. That does help. Now, what that does help is Orlando City. Atletico San Luis winning 1-0. If they hold on to that, Orlando City would advance. Because Minnesota United, if they draw, the best they could do is 6 points and win the shootout. They had to win outright to advance. Well, also look at their goal differential, which is a +2. It's not good enough. Actually, their goal differential is not good enough anyway. Unless they goleated San Luis, which was possible, but not anymore. So, San Luis has definitely helped Orlando probably be safe. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Portland, Seattle. So, if Portland and Seattle at least get a point with their goal differential, they would advance. The thing about Portland and Seattle, well, actually, hold on. They have 2 regulation wins anyway. So if Portland and Seattle draw and lose the shootout, they would still advance with their goal differentials with 7 points. Because, well, wait. Seattle would be above both Orlando and Columbus. Portland would be above Columbus. So it would be Miami, Seattle, Orlando, Portland in that way if they didn't get a shootout win or an outright win. But if they get a shootout win or an outright win, they're through. That's 8 points at the very least. I don't think anybody could reach that. Even the 4-point teams can't reach that. And the teams who have 6 points, are playing tonight, Portland and Seattle. 92nd minute. LAFC already had played their game with 6 points. They played all three. Orlando and Columbus have played all three with 7 points. Miami's about to get their 8th point playing their 3rd game. So basically, Seattle and Portland, as long as they draw, they're through. They're both through. At least for now. Now, of course, with the 4-point teams, this could get a little bit hairy. If they win the shootout, if they draw and win the shootout, they're definitely through. If they win outright, if they both win outright, they're both definitely through. And then Orlando's the one holding on for dear life against the teams with 4 points who haven't played yet. 93rd minute. But again, Orlando's goal differential is +6. They might be fine with 2 regulation wins and 1 penalty shootout loss. Seconds to go for Miami. But Miami has advanced. We know that already. We know that now. Miami will advance. We know that. Nobody could reach 8 points except for Seattle and Portland, which means they, even at worst, would finish 4th, save, or 3rd. At worst, Miami would finish 3rd. We know that. Seattle and Portland both have better goal differentials than Miami, so if they just won the shootout, they would advance above them. And that's full time. Full time, and it's 3-1 Miami. They will advance to the knockouts of the Leagues Cup. 3-1 esta noche. Miami ganador avanzar de la cuartos de final de la Leagues Cup. Miami will advance. Well, because it's only 3 games per group. That's probably why. Similar system. It's only 3 games per group, so of course it's more interesting. There's no room for error. There's no room for error. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribe. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within the hour for the review of this match. We'll be live for Cruz Azul versus Colorado tomorrow. And we'll review that as well. I'm not changing the game just because we know it's not going to be good. I'm still going to do it that way, and we'll talk about the result of the one that probably will matter when it comes to tomorrow. Juarez and Red Bulls at the half of the Colorado Cruz Azul game. With that being said, I'll see you within the hour for the review of this game. I'll see you tomorrow for Colorado Cruz Azul. Friday, we'll have the League Phase recap, knockout stage predictions of this tournament. And we'll see how this goes. But Miami are through. Pumas are out. Felicidades, Miami. Commiserations, Pumas. Congratulations to Miami. Commiserations to Pumas. Pumas are gone. We know that, and we know Miami's through. Should be interesting, but I'll see you later. I'm running. I'm out. Peace. See you.